A sea lane is not just a sea lane. A road is not just a road. A rail network is not just a rail network in my world. I'm General, which still freaks me out when I say it, Darren W. McDew. I'm the commander of the United States Transportation Command. Very few people truly understand what the command is and what we do. Everybody says, I got that. I know exactly what that is. That's planes, trains, automobiles, and some boats. How difficult can that be? Well, I think it's difficult enough to think about it this way. We provide options to the nation that few nations in the world actually have. They want to have what we have. It's simple. Our ability to project power into someone else's near abroad at the time of our choosing. I was happy to get a 4-year scholarship to go be a civil engineer in the Air Force. I had no money, but I had people telling me that I needed an opportunity to go to school. And the Air Force provided me an opportunity that I can't pay enough back for. My background is not one you could have designed from day one. If you had told me as a young second lieutenant in Strategic Air Command, flying KC-135A models, sitting on alert at Loring Air Force Base, Maine, that I would one day be sitting in this office, I would have told you you were absolutely out of your mind crazy. But along that way, if you told me I was going to work in the White House and work in the Senate and be the Air Force Director of Public Affairs, I wouldn't have thought any of that was possible either. Looking in hindsight, every single diversion I've taken, single assignment that I go, why in the world am I doing this? It didn't seem to make much sense at the time. In hindsight, I use every one of those skill sets today. I was built to be here now. Thank you, Senator Inhofe, Ranking Member Reed, and distinguished members of the committee. It is an honor to be with you. First, I'm an introvert, so I don't necessarily like talking in public. I'm an engineer by practice. I wanted to be an engineer. That means I don't necessarily want to engage you as a person. But I know that about myself, so I prepare. And the way I prepare is to try to understand how I can deliver what I need to deliver to whom I need to deliver it. Our ability to project a decisive force is foundational to the national defense strategy. The size and lethality of the force is of little consequence if we can't get it where it needs to go when it needs to get there. And I tell the members of Congress, it's the least favorite thing I do all year. However, it's absolutely the most important thing I'll ever do. This enterprise, transportation, does not get the accolades, the notoriety, or the understanding it deserves. My big job is to try to get that out there. And so when I go to the Hill, I try never to ask for anything. I don't want anything more in appropriation. What I want is better understanding. And then through that understanding, I want them to think of us. I say simply, when you want to improve the lethality of the Department of Defense, think about how you're going to get it there. When you want to make a combat force more lethal and agile, how are you going to do that? If you ask yourself those questions, you will include logistics and transportation.
It's got to be difficult, though, convincing a public, maybe Congress a little bit easier, but a public when they're used to having things delivered by going Amazon. And
yeah.
It just shows up the next day.
Right.
They don't really give any thought as to how it actually got there.
No one does. But that's why you pay me the moderate bucks you do, which I can't complain about.
Gotcha.
But you pay us here in this enterprise to think about that. And you know what's beautiful about working with the people at USTRANSCOM? None of them will ever be written about in a history book. None of them will be on CNN. None of them will be on Fox News. None of them do it for that. They do it because there's a great enjoyment in doing things for other people. Anything that is an extension of what I call our American power, promise, or ideals is done through logistics and transportation, even if no one actually understands it.